Hi, good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Julie Turner. I am the corporate sales and marketer for MBH Settlement Group here in the DC area. We cover DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I am on again with another amazing group of gentlemen here with Mission Mortgage. We're having a interview with the launch of Mission Mortgage starting in 2021. Actually, they started, I believe, in December. They launched in November, December. So I'll let them speak a little bit more about that. But I want to introduce you to Tom O'Keefe, who is the president of Mission Mortgage. And he also is a loan officer as well. And then I also want to introduce you to Dante Carroll. He is also one of the founding members of Mission Mortgage and helping and assisting Tom into building up the company. So welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being on with me today.
Thanks for having us, Julie.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So today we're just going to discuss a little bit about Mission Mortgage and what they are doing for our awesome community here in the DC area. I'll be asking them a few questions and then also just a recap of learning a little bit about MBH as well. So I will start it off, and I guess my first question is, Dante, let's start with you. Wanted to ask you about Mission Mortgage, and I know something that you guys are really big into is building up the community, along with not only obviously making people's dreams come true of home ownership, but also building up their community as well. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing at Mission Mortgage in order to do that.
So thank you for the opportunity to discuss this. And part of framing up why Mission would have to include sort of an origin story that harkens back to the parent organization of which Mission Mortgage is a part of. And so when the Minkiti Group and the family of companies that exist in that world got started, our founders' belief was business should have a transformative impact on the communities that they serve. So if you look at the businesses that we have, their neighborhood investment models, or their mission, if you will, no pun intended, is to transform lives, careers, and communities through real estate. As Mission came online and as we grow up this organization, that's embedded in the DNA of the organization that we are a double bottom line organization. So we're not just serving or existing to serve the purpose of building a business. We're also in the purpose and space of building a community, or building the communities in which we operate. So if you think about how that shows up in Mission Mortgage space, we do something that we think is maybe unique. I've not heard of it in my 20 years in real estate, but certainly it's an opportunity for us to demonstratively give back to the communities that we serve by having every buyer, every borrower who originates a loan with Mission Mortgage have an ability to direct a donation at settlement to one of four buckets. Those buckets are home ownership, entrepreneurialism, youth, and education. Like that's where we're going to be. We're going to play in these spaces, and rather than that be a specific organization that's directed back to a charity that goes out into the respective communities where our footprint is and partners with other organizations or groups in those communities to serve one of those, or like one of those buckets, or to work in one of those buckets to serve one of those interests, right? So you get to choose your mission as a borrower when you originate a loan with Mission Mortgage. And we're going to make sure that as we grow this organization out, we continue to be an organization that not only seeks to serve your lending needs, but also give back to the communities who give so much to us relative to the business that they entrust us to do.
I absolutely love that. I think at the end of the day, you know, obviously it's someone's personal joy and goal to become a homeowner in the United States, but to know that not only are you becoming the homeowner, but knowing that you're building that community around your home that you're purchasing, and that you have a loan officer or a mortgage company in which they are helping you to do so. I think that's amazing. So congratulations to you guys. I mean, that's hands down. I would want to purchase a loan through you in order to help not only myself and my family, but the community around me. So that's amazing.
Tom's ready to take that application when you.
Exactly. I'll make sure I give you my email and my phone number before we get off the call.
Will do, absolutely. So I guess for you, Tom, you know, if you wanted to add to that, or if you wanted to speak on bringing back to the community and helping the community grow as well, what that means to you.
Yeah, it was important to me. I've been in this business going on 25 years and have never really been part of any organization that had a mission to give back like they did here. So it makes me really proud, frankly, to be president of this company and to know, you know, not only are we providing, you know, incredible service to our clients on a transactional basis, that we do have that added touch of giving back to the community, which again, I think is unique and special. And again, makes me, you know, really proud to be, you know, part of this operation.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I guess for my second question would be, you know, unfortunately, globally, we're all facing it, especially here in the United States, when it comes to dealing with real estate. It's such a belly-to-belly industry and business. And so we've kind of had to shift. We've kind of had to maneuver. Obviously, we're doing a lot of Zooms and meeting with people. How is Mission Mortgage, I guess, making sure that their clients are being safe throughout the loan mortgage origination process, and how you guys are servicing them? What kind of technology are you using in that respect?
So great question. Obviously, you know, COVID and what we're dealing with is on the top of everybody's mind and has an impact on so many different things. Obviously, our industry is one of them that is impacted. You sort of lose the client touch in a way, but we are obviously very cognizant of the safety of our employees and our customers. So we have an essentially technology that allows us to be basically paperless. So in terms of signatures and processing the file, it's all electronic. We have technology to be able to do that. We've got a portal for secure uploads and you know, for clients' documents and that sort of thing. So it is really a touchless process, or it can be, which most people frankly prefer.
Yeah.
In the current environment. So that is top of mind for us, you know, again, for the safety of our employees and our customers.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And technology is a big thing now that people are, I guess, being more savvy with and making sure that we're all staying safe in this time of COVID. So thank you for that. So I guess another question I have for you guys is, you know, what do you look for when it comes to a working business partnership with other vendors that obviously are within this trail of purchasing a home? You work with an agent, you work also with very closely with the settlement company. What are the things that you guys look for when working in a business partnership with different vendors?
Tom, you want to take that first? You want me to take a stab at it?
Go ahead, Dante, and I'll jump in, you know, on a transactional basis.
So I'll go more globally in terms of like what we're looking for, or how our approach, and who we want to partner with, and what those sort of expectations are. We're big on the idea of being partners and not just customers to people that we're in business with, or serving just the customer in that space of B2B, right? And I say that because partnership requires a higher level of expectation and commitment to each other. So when you do business with Mission, be it the agent business partner, the settlement company business partner, the brokerage business partner, we truly embody and live in that partnership space. And in that partnership space, I think all of us on this Zoom are married. And one thing I think we could all agree on is that communication is key to successful relationships, right? So the idea that we are responsive and communicative are incredible, like, pillars of like, and foundations in the relationships that we have. So if you're an agent who likes a responsive, communicative, partnership-oriented experience, we got you. If you're the client looking for that same thing, we got you. If you're the title company and you can refer out an opportunity, a business opportunity in that space, that's how we show up. And certainly if you're a brokerage looking to partner with a lender and a lending institution who will value that partnership, value that collaboration, value that communication, value that responsiveness, that's who we are, and we're here to serve you. We're truly on an incredible journey, and I dare say a real cool mission, no pun intended.
No doubt. And I'll sort of add on some that I think in our industry, there's partnerships, and then there's relationships where it's almost like a vendor relationship. Mm-hmm. We don't go down the vendor path. Vendor to me is there's exclusivity and separation. You go the partner route where you're working together with MBH, you're working together with the real estate agent, you're working together with the client. It's not easy to get, a client from point A to point B, get a buyer into a borrower and get into settlement. There's a lot of moving parts and a lot of hands in the cookie jar, frankly, a lot of people, a lot of cooks in the kitchen, a lot of things that are going on. So the more collaborative and the more partnership approach that you can have, it makes for a more seamless, better customer experience in the end, and frankly keeps the stress level down for all parties. It's a stressful, purchasing a home is a stressful thing for a consumer. And I think part of our job and part of what we do with our partners is to try to minimize that stress and try to get clients through the process without any undue stress. And a lot of times they won't see behind the scenes what we're doing to make that happen. Mm-hmm. It's always important in this sort of relationship where, we look out for you, you look out for us. We're not perfect. Nobody in this business is, but you tend to sort of insulate the consumer from some of the behind the scenes issues that we deal with. And they may never know what it took to get them to settlement without any additional stress, but it and we know it, but we work together to do that. So again, a partner versus a vendor to us, is integral in making that happen.
Awesome. I completely agree.
Just want to add, something hit me as you said that, and there's a flatness to the partnership that allows for greater engagement, much more responsiveness, what have you. If you're listening to this Zoom or you're viewing the Zoom, you're looking at the president of mortgage right there. If there's an issue with underwriting, he picks up the phone and that can be dealt with. If there's an issue in the processing phase of the loan, he picks up the phone and that can be dealt with. And that flatness allows us to show up as a much more valuable partner, because unlike, if you think of some of the retail banks as an example, and those major institutions, I won't name any, but you can fill in the blank, right? You call and there's an issue with the loan. You've got to make, the LO has to make, and Tom, you can speak to this much more intelligently than I can, but the LO has to make 16 different calls before he or she gets to the right person to get that thing back on track, moving the way that it needs to. Not here.
Right.
Like that's a value add that we have where you don't have those layers of bureaucracy that gum up the process and create poor customer service experience or B2B service experience. And we pride ourselves on not having that be part of the construct that exists in the world that we inhabit, that we live in with respect to the space of Mission Mortgage.
Completely. And our market is so unique in DC, Maryland, Virginia. It's obviously competitive, it's fast moving. And we like to say Mission Mortgage was built for the DMV. We built this company with the idea that, contract settlement times are on average about 26 to 28 days. So we're built for that sort of thing. And the other piece that's interesting and maybe unique about sort of my role in all this, yes, I am the president of the company, but I also, I still originate loans. So I sort of tie my shoes the same way that my loan officers do. So I experience what they experience during the process. And it gives me a really unique perspective. I sort of see things the way they do, and we can look for improvement here or know when things are working really well. So that gives me, a pretty unique perspective on how we're going to succeed and how we're going to exceed our customers' expectations on every transaction.
Right.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's so glad to hear. I'm so glad to hear that. And that's the biggest thing too, is just where is that customer service come from? You know, so many people are out here saying customer service, but is there actually a live person on the other end picking up the phone immediately and addressing my issues or addressing my concerns? And so that's wonderful to hear that, like you said, Dante, just a flat type of surface of getting directly to the source, getting it resolved, getting it answered, and getting it done, right? So not only the communication, but just getting it done. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. So tell us, I guess last but not final, well, I guess final, last and final, tell us how we can get a hold of you. Tell us, you know, how the buyers and sellers can get a hold of you. Where are you located? Email, phone number, all that great stuff. And then also too, guys, at the bottom, there'll be a link to Mission Mortgage and their email information as well. But please do share with us how we can get a hold of you guys to get an amazing loan.
So it's Tom O'Keefe. Email address is tom.okeefe, O-K-E-E-F-E, at mymissionloan.com. That's mymissionloan.com. Cell phone, 301-237-4335. And as Julie said, I'll make sure I include our other loan originators in the information that will appear on the bottom of the screen, so we can give you the full team approach here from a Mission Mortgage standpoint. So
I'm going to say you're going to usually reach out to Tom, but if you needed me, I'm at d.carroll, C-A-R-R-O-L-L, at kw.com. And my mobile is 240-682-4100. So if you are a broker, you have a brokerage, and you're interested in perhaps having a lending relationship with us, certainly MBH and other title companies looking to have another referral partner in that space, we're happy to work with you in that regard. Please reach out to me and let's talk about how we can be partners, how we can do business together, and how we can help grow each other. So you'll get my information on the bottom as well. And we're excited about not just the opportunity to do business and have our story out there, but to have this conversation with you, Julian, and maybe if there's time, ask you a couple of questions.
Absolutely.
Sure, absolutely. Ask away.
So you made a great point of asking about our safety protocols. I'd like to have you talk a little bit about what your company's doing in the time of COVID to ensure either the safety of the client or the safety of the staff, and then maybe even tell us about what do you see the long-term impact of some of these changes in terms of how you think the settlement industry changes.
Right. So I think at the end of the day, well, I will say MBH has been one of the leaders when it comes to technology, just over time. And especially during COVID, we've really pushed through and shined in that respect of technology that we already had implemented and in place. We do have the ability to hold a full settlement electronically. Obviously, if whoever partner we have when it comes to a lender, as long as they are approving and give us the green light to have electronic signatures, we have the capability to have an e-closing, notary, e-recording. We also even have the ability to have the agent or buyer themselves bring in their earnest money deposit electronically as well through an app on their smartphone. So literally from the time of bringing in the EMD to proceeding with the settlement, we have the technology and the ability to have a full electronic closing, as you will. We do have 20 working and open offices in the DC area. We have 20 brick and mortars reaching through DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We use the protocols of sanitizing each and every office daily, but also sanitizing the conference room after every single settlement. We have one usage pens, we have gloves and masks available. We have the ability to we have a long conference table so we can all be 6 feet apart. The unfortunate part about it is before at a settlement, you would bring your cousin and your mom and your uncle and your neighbor. I will say that we have put strict protocols in place to have only the signers present. Again, just trying to keep everyone safe in this time of COVID, making sure that the signers are there, our attorneys are there to proceed with the settlement with masks on, gloves, one usage pens, sanitizing between each closing. We have the ability to do a hybrid closing, which is when the lender provides some paperwork electronically and the buyer themselves can sign some of the paperwork through electronic computer and then come in for some of the wet signatures so they're not in the facility for a longer period of time. We have just, again, Zoom and making sure that if there's an agent that wants to be present in the closing, we have the agent on Zoom with us. We even have the capability of going to someone's home. I'll give you an example, the other day we had a immobile senior citizen. She was bedridden, and we had one of our settlement attorneys to go out there, mask on, gloves on, obviously very protected, and making sure that the buyer was safe, but in her bed, she was able to sign her documents. So
that's impressive. So how do we get,
Absolutely.
From a client referral perspective, what's the mechanism for getting folks to you for your services?
Sure. So if you're working with a buyer directly, just let them know that you have a partner with MBH, Julie Turner. I'd be more than happy to speak with them from the beginning to educate them about anything with title insurance or just the settlement process itself. And obviously that, like you said, that open communication, linking them up and partnering them with our attorney that would be doing the settlement, as well as the processor. So they will be fully acknowledged, and understanding how to submit the EMD, who they need to speak to in regards to the transaction themselves as the attorney, who the processor is, and then also linking those people up with you guys as well to make sure that there's great open communication.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I guess the other part of that question was just like, how do you see, like, what are the long-term impacts of how COVID will make, and I'll probably be more specific this time, how COVID will make what we all do more efficient? Because, you didn't have all electronic settlement opportunity, certainly in document space and mortgage prior to this, right, Tom? You couldn't.
Right. Yeah. There was a little bit of a shift, towards a lot of e-signing, but still a lot of things required, ink signatures,
Right.
processing side, which we've really gotten away from, which is a byproduct of COVID. And frankly, something that we will probably see continuing down the line. There's no reason back in time. I said, maybe you would say the same, Julie, in terms of the settlement services and what that would look like. Not sure.
So I'll say this, my silver lining for me is, and again, I'm a people person. I love people. I love meeting with people. I love hearing their story. I love helping them. But I will say it was a lot of time consumed when it was windshield time, driving to meet the client, meeting for an hour to drink coffee, and driving back to my office. As much as I love that, as much as I still love that, and am still obviously willing and able to do outside of COVID, the fact that we are able to transfer a message and education of the settlement process to numerous of people at one time via Zoom. I held an educational 1031 exchange class the other day, and we had 78 agents on there at one time. Not to say that we couldn't do that in person in a conference room somewhere, but the fact that people are at home, can log on quickly, it's just, no windshield time, the ability to really get the message out of our services quickly, efficiently. You can make notes, you can email people notes and just, it's quicker, it's faster, it's quicker, it's less time wasted, I believe. And then also, I think too, with the electronic signatures and things like that, especially with people who are unable to come to the table, if they're an international buyer, if they are out of town, if God forbid they are sick and bedridden, the ability to be able to have electronic signatures, I think, are so helpful. Already, I see so many agents loving our electronic EMD submission. I don't know how many times agents are like, oh my gosh, I got to get this to the office. I got to hurry up and run this to the office. And, you know, their windshield time, and they're killing themselves to run to the office to drop off the EMD. Hey, open up the app on your your smartphone, so take a picture of the check, submit it, you're done. It in 5 minutes. It's seamless, it's safe, it's secure. And so I think that's where our industry is going, is that we do have these portals that are very secure, that are very safe when it comes to their information. Just the technology itself is amazing. And I love the fact that MBH has that technology and has the ability to provide that for our clients.
It's amazing that it took something like COVID for the industry to take such a leap forward in terms of technology. Right. You see it across the board, right? On the mortgage side, on the settlement side. So I feel like, you know, why didn't we think of this sooner? Why, you know, because it, you know, in many ways it does make the transaction a little bit more seamless and frankly a lot more secure right. than ways we've done it in the past. So that's great that you guys sounds like you're on the cutting edge there technology wise, which is awesome.
We are. Thank you.
Good stuff. Indeed.
Well, thank you. Yes.
That's all I got.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, guys, thank you so much for coming today. Guys, Tom O'Keefe, Dante Carroll, Mission Mortgage. I am so honored to have you guys today with me, speaking with me about Mission Mortgage. It is an awesome mission, and pun intended. It is an awesome mission. So I appreciate your time. Thank you all. Again, Julie Turner with MBH Settlement Group here in the DC area. If you want to get a hold of me, my email is jturner, TURNER, @M as in Mary, B as in boy, H as in horse.com. Again, my link will be below as well with some information about MBH. And I truly appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you. Take care, Julie.
See you soon. Thank you.